Okay, guys, Panzer J back here in Operation GoldenEye. We're at turn number 8, January 1940. So before I get into the UK turn, just wanted to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody. Really appreciate all your support and glad that you guys have been enjoying the videos and the YouTube wars that we've been engaging in. And a special Merry Christmas to the four guys I'm playing with: Madman Dan, Global War 36 enthusiast Boston Bruce, and Knights Templar. Four really good guys, as well as excellent players. So special shout out to those guys. Hopefully they're enjoying the holiday with family and not plotting too much against the demise of the UK. So that's my Christmas wish for today, I would say. So if you guys watched last turn, you saw that the Japanese, under the able leadership of Boston Bruce, declared war on the Commonwealth as well as the Free French. So the U.S. now will get 5 D12 die rolls for the declaration against the Commonwealth, and then 2 more for the Free French. Madman Dan pointed that out to me. I was thinking that that was still under the France banner, and then they would have just gotten 5 D12s for either the Commonwealth and France. But Free French is actually a minor, so Japan declared war also on a minor this turn, so a minor power. So that's another 2 D12. So the U.S. will have 7 D12 die rolls, which I'll be rolling. I already talked to Knights Templar about that, so going to go ahead and roll his 7 D12s. Right now the U.S. is sitting at 42. They need 63, so it would have to be really, really bad die rolling not to hit 21 or more with 7 D12s. But worst case scenario, I guess, if by some really bad luck we don't hit it, the U.S. does have their own D12 die roll coming up on their portion of the turn here as well. So all won't be lost, although I will be slightly disappointed. So as far as the UK, I've kind of been floundering a little bit with playing the Commonwealth in this game. If you guys watch any of the previous YouTube wars, or even going back to Global 39, I'm used to playing the Axis, and specifically Germany. And Germany is obviously very proactive in the game. They're very aggressive by the nature of their initial force deployment and where they're able to strike, who they're able to strike. So I'm used to being on the offensive and kind of taking it to my opponents as Germany, whereas the UK very much is a reactive country. You have to accept initial setbacks, much like in World War II itself. It wasn't really until 1943 that the tide started turning against the Axis. Up until then, through 42, Germany was just encountering victory after victory for the most part. A couple of stumbles in Russia, but I mean, even still, at the end of 42, they were all the way to Stalingrad. So they still had huge portions of Russian territory under occupation. So it really wasn't until 43 that the tide started turning against the Axis. And in this game, obviously, with it being a World War II based game, it mirrors that to quite an extent. So I've just got to learn to accept initial defeats and setbacks, kind of like what happened with the FEC here in the Pacific. They got pretty much decimated, which isn't fun to watch as the Commonwealth player, but it should pretty much bring the U.S. into it. And again, I have got to accept the fact that I'm going to lose, maybe at the beginning, lose some territories, maybe even lose some valuable territories. And hopefully, as the game progresses, with the backing of the United States, the UK will get stronger and stronger, and then eventually be able to go on the offensive. So I'm still adjusting to that, and my play so far as the UK hasn't been the greatest. I've definitely made a few mistakes, some more costly than others. But again, hopefully the tide might be turning here a little bit. I got the big brother hopefully in the game this turn to help me out, so that'll be much more of a even contest instead of the UK kind of just fighting on alone. So on to the UK's turn here. We got our 3 tech rolls. So we're definitely trying for radar and wartime economy, which are both at stage 3. So if I can hit these, we finish them off, and they're both very important. Obviously, wartime economy, I get the extra money, and radar, I need to get rid of the U-boat menace. We even have a Japanese sub there off of South Africa, which I'm sure will be convoying this next turn. So if I can get radar, that'll help deter that menace. And then I think the 3rd tech we're going to go for is advanced anti-submarine warfare. That's at stage 2. So all 3 take a 7 or higher. So let's go with advanced anti-submarine warfare. We got a 2, so we missed that. Radar 7 or higher. We got a 7, so we hit that. We completed that. And wartime economy 7 or higher. We got a 6, so we missed that one. So we got 1. So radar allows us to scramble an unlimited number of planes, as well as I believe it's a +2 on the convoy rating. So that now offsets the U-boats. So we'll have to take it, 1 out of 3. Okay, so on to purchases. The UK has 24, and we're spending all of it. 21 on for themselves. They are going to start construction on 3 ships at 5 apiece, a battleship and 2 fleet carriers. They're doing a militia upgrade for 2, and then 2 militia for 2 apiece, so that's 21. And then they're going to lend lease the Free French and infantry, and that can make its way. We've got plenty of major ports in England. The only U-boats we got in the way are down here in 48, so they can obviously come over here and then come down and across to northern Algeria. So that's the 24 for the UK. As far as the FEC, we have no money because we lost Calcutta. I know the FEC doesn't surrender unless the UK does. So we haven't surrendered. So I'm not sure if I move if it's a movement of the capital or how it actually works with the FEC. I don't know if I collect money at the end of this turn. We still have, I think, $6 worth of territories, but I'm not going to do anything with that because I'm not sure, again, what the situation is with the FEC. So on to Anzac. We have 10. We're spending 10. We're buying a fighter. And that should be it for purchases. On to combat. The UK doesn't have any combat other than escort duty. So those subs in 48 aren't within range of our seaplane or the plane based on our light carrier in Sea Zone 80. So there's not much we can do there. So we're going to take these 2 destroyers here in 105. And we're going to come down. One of them is going to come down 1, 2, 3 to 114. The other one is going to come down 1, 2 to 110. Actually, it's not going to come down to 114. It's going to come down to 108. So one came down 1 to 108. The other came down 2 to 110. Okay. Then this destroyer here in 79 is going to come down 1 to 105. And then we've got a destroyer here in 24. That's going to come down 1, 2, 3. And I didn't get out the escort duty marker, but he is going on escort duty in 48. I'm sorry. He only came down 2. So he came down 2 from 24 down to 48. And again, he's going to go on escort duty there. I just don't have the marker out. And I believe that is it for escort duty. Except for we're going to have the light carrier that's in C-Zone 80. And that's going to come off and come out 1 to C-Zone 79. That fighter can be on map. So that will be it for escort duty and map. Non-combat, we are going to take our torpedo boat destroyer and our coastal defense ship. They each have an additional movement of 1 because of a major base. And they're going to come down 1, 2, 3 down to C-Zone 79. So in C-Zone 79, we have a light carrier with a fighter, a torpedo boat destroyer, and a coastal defense ship. And let's see, we gained a torpedo boat destroyer off of Yugoslavia. So that's going to come down 151 2 to 80. And that can join that fleet. So I'll put him on the fleet card. And let's see what else. We are going to have this infantry in Eastern Egypt move up 1 to Western Egypt. This cavalry in Nubia is going to come up 1 to Eastern Egypt. And I think that is it for the UK for non-combat. Anzac doesn't have any non-combat. Well, actually, and we might as well bring this 1 militia down. So this 1 militia in Queensland is going to come down 1 to New South Wales. And that is it for the UK or the Anzac. So on to unit placement. So we'll take our 3 ships we started construction on and put those on the chart. They're here on stage number 3. For those, the 2 fleet carriers and the battleship. Then we have 2 militia, and they are going down in South Africa. That has a IPP value of 2, so we can place both those there. And the 1 militia upgrade is here in Western Egypt. So take him off. Put the infantry down there. Take off the militia. And that's it for the UK. Then the 1 unit, the fighter for Anzac, is going to go over here in Sydney. And that should be it for the Commonwealth. I don't think there's any, I'm not going to do any non-combat with the remaining units for the FEC. So that should be it. So just real quick for some of the UK units. We have destroyers on escort duty in 110, 108, 105, 80, 48, 33, 24, and 23. And then in 79, we have a light carrier with a fighter on map. Also in 79 is a torpedo boat destroyer and a coastal defense ship. And then also in C-Zone 80 on that fleet marker is 3 battleships, 5 heavy cruisers, a battle cruiser, 3 light cruisers, 3 naval transports, 2 submarines, and a torpedo boat destroyer. In South African Union is 3 militia. Eastern Egypt is a militia and a cavalry. Western Egypt is 2 infantry. We still got the 3 infantry in British Somaliland. So that should cover the UK. And then Anzac, we just have Sydney here. So in Sydney, we have 2 fighters, an artillery, a motorized infantry, and 2 militia. Expecting some reinforcements here this turn from the U.S. as well, so that'll continue to beef Sydney up a little bit. So that's it for the Commonwealth. As far as income, the UK spent all the money they had. They're at 28 worth of territory, and they get 1 $3 bonus. So they should have $31 to spend next turn. As far as Anzac, they spent all 10. They're down to 6, and they don't get a bonus, so they only have just 6 to spend next turn. Okay, so 31 for the British, 6 for Anzac. On to the Free French. We had $5 to spend, and we're going to spend 4 of it. So this chip here is the infantry that was lend-leased from Britain. This chip is an infantry upgrade for 2, and then a militia for 2. So that's the 4. So they save $1. And there is no combat for the Free French, just some non-combat and unit placement. So we're going to move this mountain infantry over to northern Algeria. And that is it for non-combat. I was hoping to have that transport still alive, but Boston Bruce had to kill off that defenseless transport. That was kind of not very much into the holiday spirit, but it is what it is. So now we have the infantry, the militia upgrade, and the infantry from Britain. So that's 2 chips there. So put those in northern Algeria. And the militia is going to go here in Tunisia. So for the Free French, we have a militia in Tunisia. And in northern Algeria, we have a militia, a fighter, 2 mountain infantry, and 3 regular infantry. As far as income, Free France is down to 3, and they saved 1. So they'll have $4 to spend next turn. And I think that's it for the Commonwealth and the Free French. I don't believe I have any recruitment rules due, which I never remember anyways. That is definitely something that's carried over from my time as the Germans. I always forget recruitment rules. So one last thing that I just want to mention before I do the U.S. 7 D12s. One thing I've enjoyed as the UK now is the last turn when Germany attacked the Netherlands. I got a couple of free territories, one of which had an IPP value, and I got 4 free ships. So I'm not used to that. As Germany, I'm used to flipping free units to my opponent. So that was kind of cool, getting those units for free. I like that. So now on to the U.S. So let's get 7 D12s, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so we need 21 total to get the U.S. to wartime economy. And we're way over that. So we got 2 12s, and 11, 2 9s, and 8 and a 2. So that's 24, that's 35, 44, 53, 60. I think it's like 63. So I think that's the U.S. wartime economy just right there. So I'm going to move the U.S. all the way up to its wartime economy of 63. I will let Knights Templar handle the diplomacy as far as what he wants to do, who he might or might not want to declare war on, and so forth. So that's it for the UK and the Free French here on turn number 8. Things now will switch over to Global War 36 enthusiast and the Italians. And again, happy holidays, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here on turn 9.